Alright boys, let us do this. First thing first, the name, L-U-I, okay? Secondly, the game. It is the game of bodybuilding, obviously. Thirdly, not Kai Daily Green. He is not the subject. However, as you guys know, he has published this picture lately. And guess what? A lot of other contenders of the Mr. Olympia are submerging their very pictures. And the latest one of them is this guy right here, aka Boo Bunder. What? Boo Bunder? Yes, that's his nickname right now. He lives in Kuwait. Of course, I'm talking about Rolly Winkler. Dude right here right now is living in Kuwait. He trains in the Oxygen O2 gym, right? The same gym as Big Ramy. He's rolling with the same crew. And guess what? He gained. So he published this picture. And it was very polarizing. It was amazing to say the least. The freaks love it. The freaks lover are basically all over it. They're amazed by it. As a matter of fact, I made a special poll on my Facebook to see who loved it. And, you know, the big orexia guy all liked it. But that's what's up. I don't know what he's eating there. Probably the food is different down in Kuwait. But this is what's up. He gained. He became a true freak. For real. Right? Is it? Okay, I don't know. But let's proceed to bring you back in time to show you why this freak era started. It was all cool back in the day. We had the golden era, then we had the 80s with Lee Haney, and then, you know, it proceeded that way. Dorian Yates came along from the UK, and he was an aesthetic guy. He was a small guy, as usual, not that big compared to Lee Haney, and, you know, the likes of Kevin Levroni. That's right, Kevin Levroni in 1992, by the way. This was in Mr. Olympia Helsinki, right? Both of them were still small. They were still aesthetic. Look at them. Definitely you can see the lines. I mean, no gut whatsoever. Kevin was small and cute, right? This is it. So he placed one. Yates, he won his first Mr. Olympia. And then Levroni placed second. And then all of a sudden, boom. I don't know the reason. You know, Dorian spoke about it, you know, briefly on some interview. But in 1 year, he just exploded. He gained. He became a freak of nature. And that's what's up. Look at that. Those images, I remember them. They surfaced. Everybody was amazed. A lot of people accused him of being on growth hormone. However, he refuted those accusations. He said, no, I was on the real stuff, but never took growth hormone, did not need that. And guess what? I do believe him. The thing is, it was okay for him to do that. He had to do it, because believe me, if he came the same size, he would get smoked by this dude right here, Flex Wheeler. Probably he did not have Flex Wheeler in his mind. He was probably more, you know, afraid, or he was awaiting the coming and the adversary coming from Kevin Levroni. But Kevin, if you guys remember, had a pec tear. He had an injury in the chest in 1993. So the main foe was Flex, the best version of Flex 1993. He was coming from two wins, the Ironman and the Honor Classic, as you guys know. And thankfully, you know, Dorian was also on. So he retained his title. And after that, it was pretty much business as usual. He came big every year. Lee Labrada had to retire pretty much that year or the year after. He could not box anymore with this mess era. And it continued. Nasser El Sambari, may he rest in peace, joined. Kevin got bigger. This was 95. And it never stopped. Ray was pretty much one of the last Mohicans representing. He was a small guy. You know, he had like a vacuum and so on. But he was getting smoked pretty much by the likes of Nasser El Sambari, Paul Delat, and the likes. He was just small. He was being dwarfed, right? And that's what's up. Ronnie came in, as you guys know. Flex became big in 98. I mean, Flex was still small in 97. He won the Honor Classic 97. It was pretty much one of his best shape as well, alongside 1993, right? But then again, he had no choice. If he wants to win and to rock with these guys, he had to step his game into the mass monster dinosaur Jurassic Park era. And it continued. Marcus Rule, can you imagine? This guy was the most famous guy, the most popular guy It was the crowd favorite. When he stepped on stage in the Mr. Olympia, all the freaking bigorexia guy, and I'll come back to this bigorexia guy because they are the reason for this. They scream his name, Rule, or Nasser. These guys, I mean, the bigger they were, the bigger they had more following. And it continued. Of course, Ronnie reigned supreme for 8 years on the Olympia, as you guys know. Right now, though, we have this conundrum. Don't get it twisted. I mean, he is a freak of nature. He's probably bigger than all these guys. However, you can dig him. Look at the difference between the weight of these two guys. He's not pregnant. So we have a new freak, and he's already your favorite guy. Each time I make a video, any type of video, and I put a title, Big Grammy, basically it sells. You love it. You watch it more than the others. Hell, his real name is not even Big Grammy. His real name is Mamdouh Hassibiai. But he had to be nicknamed something big, something grand, Big Grammy. As a matter of fact, I added something, the Phenom, because he is just extravagant. We cannot remove that factor, so we need to agree, we need to accept that there is a fringe, a big fringe of bodybuilding followers that just crave freakiness. You do love them, it just sells. Look at this. I mean, this guy is ecstatic, right? The timeless Dexter Jackson. But next to this freak, believe me guys, the freak Marcus Rule was just more popular. It is what it is, right? As you can see, Nasser, you know, may he rest in peace, he was just a freak of nature. This was 98, by the way. He was still small, Ronnie Coleman, but then again, he set balls through the walls, right? And he joined the mass gaining era, pretty much. He became the biggest one of them. This is 2003 until today. Even the ex-Miss Olympia, he speaks, says, bro, Roll Me 2003 is the best. You know, everybody goes back to that specific shape when he was just humongous, right? But as you guys can see, the pregnancy, maternity leave came along with these freaks, and judges and judging and even fans disregarded that for the longest time. Said, okay, as long as they're big, they might as well look like freaking Ninja Turtles. It's okay, they can be pregnant, we can accept that. We love freaks, and there's no condition that comes alongside it. Oops, look at this, the golden era. It looks like an old picture, isn't it? Is it from the 70s, baby please? Is it rather from the 60s? Who's this guy? No, this is a current era. Forget about it. This is not Serge Nubret. This is Cedric Aesthetic McMillan. Look at him. Next to another aesthetic guy, Sean Rodden. Right? These guys are crazy aesthetics. They're top IFBB pros. But unfortunately, they still lose most of the time versus the freaks, because of a reason that I'm going to mention a little bit later. So Cedric Aesthetic McMillan, I salute him. As I said, probably is the best aesthetic guy right now rolling in the FBB circuit, right? Admittedly, look at him. He trains in a certain fashion, guys. I spoke about this lengthily in a video, so I'm not going to detail it even more. But believe me, it's not only about genetics. Granted, he's a genetic freak. He is gifted. However, he needs to combine that with a proper, suitable training that will develop the muscles and fashion the very body to look a certain way. Do not get it twisted, right? If Arnold Schwarzenegger or Serge Nubret, the guys of the back in the days, if they trained like Branch Warren, believe me, they will not look as aesthetic as they were, right? The training makes you look a certain way. The body will develop and get fashioned in a certain way. Look at him. This, I spoke about this, laid down on an incline bench curls. Those are very important. They're a milestone. Believe me, guys, if you want to have a proper side chest. And I spoke and I expanded about that, you know, on several videos. It has to do with the stretching, with the ulnar nerve. Now, some IFBB pros, when they hear me saying the ulnar and the median nerve, they would say, what the hell does it have to do with bodybuilding? It has to do with your freaking palomboism, sir. If you had a proper stretching of those two major nerves, you will not suffer freaking palomboism, for starters. So Cedric Aesthetic McMillan, Look at him. Ooh, he has an Instagram account. And he is responding to this dude right here. Appreciate the fact that Louis Marco is also tagged here. But Cedric, he said, Peter is my favorite bodybuilder in the world. His physique is the best in the world. It is perfect. Can you imagine that? Cedric Cedric McMillan is saluting a dude called Peter. Who is this Peter? I spoke about him. Peter Molnar, time and again. I basically expose him to the world and I'm very proud of it. He is representing. This guy came from nowhere and he's reincarnating the freaking very genes of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Right? So he is a masterpiece from every side. However, as I said, fortunately these guys do not blow in the IFBB. They're not top guys because the freak are still reigning. That's what's up. Now, this dude, just as an example, is a dude I found out from Iran, right? He's a Persian guy. Look at the difference. Not only he smokes him in the muscularity, but look at the pregnancy issue, guys. Right? Do you see an alien coming in? Come on. This is distortion nowadays that this guy does not has. So it goes to show that you can develop a properly superior physique, striations, I mean that hard grainy look, without resorting to look like a freaking pregnant dude, right? You see what I'm saying? And that's what is up. Now, to compare the both actually, the two extreme, the two poles actually, 180 degrees separated, Peter Molnar, aesthetic as crazy, versus Bubander, aka Rolly Winkler, who is a freak of nature. Those are two extremes. Both have their advocates, both have their lovers. But the thing is, right now they both exist. And they're too different to be compared on stage. You just cannot compare these two guys on stage. It's not feasible. You cannot compare like a freaking Doberman with a bully. If you guys know what a bully dog is. It is even blockier than a pit bull. Right? So almost two different species. That's why, oh listen, this is Sadiq. You will tell me, bro, but that created the physique category now. They can roll with physique. That's how we separated bodybuilding from the aesthetics. No, it's not enough. Although I salute Sadiq, this guy though is Mr. Olympia, right? Physique. He won. He is the title holder as far as I know. His name is Buendia, Jeremy, right? He looks crazy. He looks aesthetic from these poses. However, if you try to tackle him from a bodybuilding standpoint, his back is not impressive. This is not a bodybuilding worthy, bodybuilding impressive, complete back with all due respect. And guess what? It's just fine. He does not need it in the physique category. And he is still winning. Right? So this is what's up. I mean, physique is not enough to fill in the gap, guys. Physique is not enough. I salute these guys. They're very good. They're aesthetic as hell. Actually, in my opinion, Sadiq is even better. He's closer now to a small bodybuilder in a sense, but he's not winning. He's not the title holder as of yet. They prefer these guys who showcase just the side in a sense without having a proper back. But that's just my opinion. So that is still a category for these guys. They should create two different divisions in bodybuilding. Why not create a freak balls to the walls where everybody can compete, and then create a classical side of IFBB. Name it classique bodybuilding, aesthetic bodybuilding, where guys like Cedric McMillan and Peter Molnar, Sean Rodden, and the likes can thrive and succeed, right? Because these guys are totally different species from guys like this. Let's be honest. And there is a fringe of guys that still love them. And give me 2 minutes to explain why. Because since the 90s, and even more, back then there was no internet. If you guys watch videos of Mr. Olympia, or let's say 1995 or 1994, where Ben and Joe Weider were still alive, people who were buying tickets to go watch the show in Las Vegas were only hardcore fans, gym rats, who most of them suffer from bigorexia. These guys want freaks. They thrive and they drink and eat freaks daily, right? So that's why They loved them. They were ruling for Dorian, for Nasser, for Rule, Ronnie Coleman, and so on. And I do recall, may he rest in peace, Ben Weider. He was coming on stage and he was saying to the crowd, believe me, this year the lineup is so good, they're so big, you will be amazed. And you will see the crowd saying, yes, because it was just hardcore fans buying tickets to go to Las Vegas. However, times have changed. Right now, bodybuilding fans are mainstream with the advent of the internet. Most of you guys are just fans who buy powders, you buy pre-workout and whey protein. So you are actually the main money makers for this business. And if they listen to you, most of you will rather look like this guy rather than Bubandar. Let's be honest. And look at the face of Bubandar. Does he look happy? If you see him in the dark, you will be frightened. Whether a guy like this, he looks happy. You know what I'm saying? And he looks healthy. So that's just my opinion. Salute you wherever you are. They should create a separate category for the aesthetic guys. Name it anything. Name it classical aesthetics. Just like you have created the 212-pound category, create another category for this classical physique, and believe me, you'll have more fans. If it makes money, it makes sense. And most of your money makers, the buyers of the powders, the pre-workouts, the whey protein and so on, are natural guys who happen to lift. They're not crazy bodybuilders that live and breathe bodybuilding. These guys just happen to live. They have a life, they have a work, they go to school, and they just have a passion for lifting, right? That's what's up. Salute you wherever you are. Don't forget to like the video and tell me what you guys think about it.